This is a collective reading. Behind closed doors, chaos unfolding. This is not meant to diagnose or replace therapy. Please like, share, comment, and subscribe. And I'll see you at your reading. Hi friends, my name is Griselle with Psychic MD, and I'm here to do another collective reading. So we're going to go ahead and get a little bit of good juju, good energy going here, clearing our area. And as most of you know, I love using these little charcoal thingamajiggies. So as we do that, I just wanted to take a moment and thank those of you that are subscribers and viewers currently. Thank you so much for stopping in and for being here. I appreciate your time, your interest, your energy. And for those of you that are new to my channel, super warm welcome. I hope that everyone finds exactly what it is that you are seeking when you come here. Whether it's help, a little bit of wisdom, a little bit of amusement, feel better about yourself, anything. Okay. So I'm going to let that do its thing. And today we're going to be using this little deck right here. It's kind of dark. I appreciate the moody environment, the ambience. I don't know if you do. But this deck, it's hard to see, isn't it? Yeah, it sure is. Okay, it's the Sacral Chakra. And it is a deck by the Zen Goddess. And you can find her on Etsy. So that is what I intend on using, and whatever else feels right, I'll be pulling from those two. Because why not? All right. Without further ado. See that? Show me what I need to see for the collective right now. Anything that's going to be important, helpful for the collective. Anything that's going to be enlightening, helpful. Whatever they need to know or hear. Show me what I need to see. And show me now. I myself might even need a little bit of light. Big surprise. Orange. Okay, well, obviously it's orange. Let's see if this will stand. I might need to change the lighting in here just so we can get through the reading. Although I much prefer it darker. What else do we have? Show me what I need to see for the collective, and show me now. 2 more cards. This is Inner Child. How cute is that? Yep, looks like I will be needing to change the lighting in here. And the next card is this baby, and it says move. Move. Give me just a second while I attempt to bring light to the matter. Be right with you. Well, that instantly helped, didn't it? And I know this was really difficult to see. It's still kind of hard to see. Okay. Well, it's a tiger. Move. Get moving. So it's interesting because this little deck is all about the sacral chakra. And I personally have the hardest time with this chakra as of late, which is pretty much why I bought it initially. All right. So orange, fresh, intent, invite. Orange is the color of the sacral chakra. Orange is cheerful, optimistic, and spontaneous. It offers refreshing energy and playful dynamic. Playing with colors may sound like a childish game. However, being mindful of how we choose to use and incorporate colors can make a significant difference in our ability to connect with and activate our chakras. I work with color a lot. I love doing that. Considering orange as the color of the sacral, you can playfully add orange into your closet, refrigerator, aesthetic space, or bathing ritual. If you pull this card, the universe is asking you to invite the vibrancy of orange frequency. Have fun with this. There are no rules. Who knows, maybe next time you'll be at the grocery store and you'll spot some marigolds at the floral shop, or even pick up the orange bell peppers for tonight's dinner. Pretty cool. So the sacral chakra is affiliated with having fun, with joy, with playtime. What does that saying goes? I always forget to look it up. All work and no play makes a dull boy of Jack, or Jack a dull boy. I don't know. Something to that effect. But this is about your inner child, allowing your inner child to play, to swing, to be free. I even think about how in her book she talks about being playful and looking at shapes in the sky, and you can see the unicorn and maybe like little monsters and alligators, and just having that fun innocence about us. And I feel like a lot of times when we go through childhood, we could or could not have had those moments where we were just kind of young and innocent, and depending on, your upbringing and things like that. But generally, children are born like that unless us adults take it away from them. And so it's kind of a return back to innocence. It's a return back to not caring what people think about you, about being free. I know one example of being an adult and being in that playful energy is this girl I used to go to church with. And I remember her, I don't remember exactly what the situation was, but her hair was, in a messy bun, and she was running. And it wasn't for exercise. It was just in the middle of something. She decided to run and, I don't know, try to catch something, maybe a little bug or something like that. And I just thought it was wild because she didn't know how beautiful she was in that moment. And I was really taken aback and impressed with just her desire to be in the moment, not care what anybody else thought. And, it was her playful nature. And I just love that. In that moment, it made a really big impression on me. And so I feel like maybe a lot of us, a lot of you guys as well, are really stuck in this area where we're working or looking at things or busy making moves, right? Because the tiger's all about making moves. And we're not so much focused on having fun. So this could, be whatever. If you think of cooking as a form of enjoyment, if you think of like literally adding color, such as this background. I didn't realize how Christmassy it was going to turn out, but it's actually cloth. It's a tablecloth. And I just decided I like the way the light plays on things. So I was curious at how it looked in my little studio. But I love the fact that it does reflect like oranges and reds and yellows. Those were my colors anyways. And those happen to pertain to the sacral chakra. So you could buy colors. You could wear orange socks, underwear, whatever the case may be, in order to kind of promote and prompt that. So enough said about that. So there is a feeling of repression when it comes to the overall message. And so maybe it's time to make a move. It's like to have fun, make a move, or move your body. This could be hello, simply about, excuse me, exercise and getting your body moving. So that could be different messages for different people here. But the bottom line is, if you, especially if you're like attracted to orange like I am, definitely make some moves in that department to have more fun and make sure that it's not all work and no play, because it will make you a dull boy or a dull girl. Another form of doing this also, I tend to use essential oils. I like that. And I like using the orange specifically and the lemon. So use whatever it is that you're drawn to, but I like to put that on my wrists or on my body, or, you know, on my clothing, so I personally can smell it. It is uplifting. It's a lot of fun to kind of, I don't know, it's definitely a pick-me-up. So see what resonates with you. But I feel like there's an era of heaviness, of darkness surrounding you, or that's where you're coming from. Okay, and we're going to get some different cards right now. So let's see what this is about, because something drug you away from the play, and it has more to do with adulting. I mean, that's like a big thing, but also, I mean, if you're all work and no play, like I really can get obsessive about work, then it really leaves no room for creativity, no room for joy, or the juice of life, as I like to call it. And then it, you know, by the end of it, you're like, what is the point? What is the point to this? I'm living a dry crust kind of a life, and there is no enjoyment, and we don't want that. So moving on. Show me what the roots of this reading is for the collective, please. This is very different than what I expected. Show me what's going on here. You need more fun. And what is the root of this? And show me now. The Five of Swords. So maybe you've been in competition with someone else, or someone else has been in competition with you. It could be a group factor where it's like people want to win at all costs, and they don't really care about the team. It's all about like the individual and the winning. And maybe you yourself have been striving for success, and you know, there's nothing wrong with being successful, obviously. I'm not slamming that at all, but you know, if we tend to lose ourselves, and this can look in many different ways. This could be like, okay, I want to be the top salesman. I'll cut through, I'll work, you know, myself to the bone, to the ground, whatever. I'll make calls on my day off. I'll do whatever I can to make top dog and win those sales. This could be also like stealing sales from other people, or, you know, place it in your specific situation. Now, if this isn't any of that, and hopefully not, then this can simply mean that you've been around a lot of people. I heard the word combative. It's not really the wands. It's the Five of Swords, which is a sneakier behavior. It's a behavior of a one-upmanship. And maybe you've been in that energy, or you've been in that surrounding. And, you know, we do get influenced by our environment, so no shade there. But it's time to kind of realize that and go back to like the playful. Like these two are in direct opposite of each other, which is what I expected when I pulled with the intent I did. And so this is about living a carefree life, and this is all about the me factor and how do I look, and what awards am I getting? Am I going to have better standing with the boss, or am I going to be the boss? Am I going to be top dog no matter what the prize is? The prize could have been like an ice cube, or, you know, a 1 scoop ice cream from Thrifties. I don't know. But in the end, everybody's like fighting for it. And it winds up being a killjoy. We steal our own joy away by falling into traps like that. And I see now that maybe you're in a, I'm going to go ahead and put this here just because you know what orange looks like, but this is kind of interesting to look at as well. Maybe you're in kind of a mode right now where you're leaving kind of a dark path and entering a lighter path. Or realizing that, you know, you can't be all work and no play, or you can't win everything, or like winning is kind of overrated. If that's all you're focused on, you're not really enjoying yourself. Now, if you're having kind of a race or friendly competition and it's a lot of fun without the cutthroat factor, then that's a whole different ballgame. No big deal. Now, for some of you guys, I'm not going to lie, I always affiliate the right side with the future, and I feel like you're in danger of falling into this I heard abyss, but this crevice or this mindset of I want to win no matter what. Now, if you look at what's going on globally, here we go. Yeah, everybody is out there just, you know, trying to manipulate and cutting throats and trying to win that bag. And I feel like they're falling more to the darkness. It's like we sell our souls in order to work for the man that controls what we say, whether it's at your job or if you work for TV, if you work for, I don't know, JCPenney, whatever the case may be. But we fall into, oh, we have to present it this way and that way. And in a lot of ways, we could be shaping other people's realities. And there's an air of deception. So whatever it is, just make sure that you're true to you, you're most authentic, and then you give yourself time to play. Pardon me. Some of you guys are having a really hard time speaking your truth or speaking the truth. And you have people kind of, I heard surveillance, like watching you and things like that to make sure that you don't say the wrong thing. So that's pretty heavy duty. We have here the Four of Wands. Yeah, this has to do with balance. It has to do with home. This has to do a lot with how you feed yourself, the roof over your head, the spoon in your mouth, in your family's mouth. This is maybe even like everyday enjoyment. Like, you know, you could work 6 days a week to enjoy that one day off that everybody comes over and has dinner at your house and whatever the case may be. But this has to do with your stability. And so maybe perhaps you're saying my stability has been all that I'm focused on and I can't afford to be a child. I don't have time to be able to do things like paint or explore things that I haven't explored in a long time. Or if you're a writing, or if you're a painter, to paint any of those things. I really don't like the lighting in here still. Okay, so we're going to go ahead and look and see what the move is, because there's a need to make a movement away from what is repressing and taking joy away from you. So if things are shutting off your light, if it's forcing you to shut off your own light, if you're feeling forced into like the realm of deception to where you're like, oh yeah, everything's great, but you know, everything's not great. Another example that's popping into my head is like ingredients and the foods that we eat or packaging and how deceptive they are. And once you start really digging, most people would be shocked to find out what it is that we are consuming collectively. So any of that, you know, people working for corporations like that who are well aware of what all of these ingredients are doing, and the amounts that are in our food or our water and things like that. So that would be an example of like towing the line and winning at any expense. Because what are you winning? Maybe perhaps you're winning your paycheck, your stability, maybe a raise, a position in society, whatever it is that you feel like motivates you. But most of all, I do feel like it's stability. Maybe you think I have a house to pay, and I definitely don't want to be a whistleblower. And like, not everybody is made to be a whistleblower, especially when they come up disappearing or dead, unalived, or whatever. Okay. So, oh yeah. We've got the Two of Swords. I feel like you have a major decision to make here. And there's a need to move. And there's a need to get back. I mean, look at how these colors are so similar. Vibrationally, they're absolutely super similar. But there is a need to go back into the self. Go back to kind of reevaluate your own heart, your own soul. How are you feeling with what it is that you're doing or who you're involved with or what you're involved in right now? There is a need to kind of reevaluate, make a new assessment of that. And I feel like there's also a need to make a decision. The Two is about personal power, and this person is all about trying to meditate, and yet there's so much emotion behind it. And I feel like you're a person that can really hold it together. Nobody knows what it is that you're undergoing. I feel like you're in the middle of having to make a big decision, and maybe perhaps people don't even know the decision you're trying to make. Okay, I have to fix that lighting. This is killing me. Pardon me. One moment, please, while I light up my light. Big difference. Okay, so I definitely feel like there's a ton of emotion. You're not letting other people know. And definitely the people that you work with, rub elbows with, for some reason you feel like you need to protect yourself or one up these other people around you. Ooh, my voice just cracked. And it could also be that you're not able to speak your truth at this point in time, or it is just not safe to speak your truth because it would affect your livelihood, for example. So the reds, going back here to the reds, this is all root chakra energy. This is, your safety, your home. Again, the spoon in your mouth and things like that. And check this out. So I just happened to kind of shuffle randomly while I was speaking. And this is a card that I have. Let's see if we can make this come in clear. So I have this chariot. I almost said chariot, but chariot. So it is the number 7. And this is about getting that move on, getting that groove on. And how you're going to do it is you're going to make a decision finally. It's finally making a decision, stand up for what it is that you most authentically want. I heard balls to the wall. Sorry, guys, my mouth is kind of crass, or mostly crass. But that's just how we do. So I'm going to say that that's going to cause you to move. And you could be in like super stealth mode. You could be waiting for the right time to move. All of those factors could be weighing in on the matter. But long story short, I feel like you are going to make really big moves. And it's going to be moves that really help you to feel balanced once again. Some of you guys are moving. Some of you guys are moving out of the family home. Some of you guys are deciding that the van life is for you. It doesn't have to be a van, but maybe you're going to get an RV or take a van or live in your car and things like that. No shame in that game. But I feel like you are being called to different destiny altogether, and you're taking it seriously. So this is a time to make plans and get right to the core of what it is that gives you joy and pleasure, whatever that means to you, so you can move forward, move ahead, because your joy is needed in this world. When you're not joyful, I hate to say it, but I'm going to include that in that statement. When I'm not joyful, I'm not adding a lot to this world at all. And it really does become difficult when you're looking at the media, when you're looking at, the narrative that people are buying into, when you're looking at people's mindsets and the smallness. I feel like this world has shrunk over the past 3 years. And, no need to even bring up why. Y'all know why. But maybe that lust and thirst for adventure has just waned. And maybe you had plans to travel and to go abroad and to really make new friends and see what the world had to offer. And those came to screeching halt. And now's the time where you're like, I want to say F it to the bucket, fuck it to the bucket. I'm just doing me. I'm going to go and do my own thing. Life is short. And you're definitely leaving things in your rearview mirror. You might be taking, I don't feel like a lot of family with you. I feel like just different people. But in some cases, family. And you're like, hey, who wants a road trip with me? Jump on in. Get in where you fit in. All right, what else do we have here for the collective who's trying to make really big changes, big moves in silence? And really even, I feel like this is, it sounds dramatic, but it's like you're trying to weigh your soul. It's like, do I continue this? I make really good money. Maybe you're somebody who makes 6 figures or whatever the case may be. And you're like, yeah, I have a good thing going. Why would I abandon all of that? Well, I don't think I can say that. There's a lot I can't say. Anyways, I happen to look down. And this is off of a gypsy deck that I have. And this is journey. So you got a lot of movement. I don't know where you're going, where you're headed. But let me know in the comments below if you feel led to. It's very interesting. Some of you guys are going on vacation, but I feel like you're going on a soul's journey, almost like a spiritual journey. And it doesn't have to look like, oh, I'm going to go into an ashram and stay for 7 months, or I'm going to become a monk, or I'm going to become a nun, and I'm going to go on that spiritual path. That a lot of us have read about or whatever. But it could be as simple as, kind of abandoning sticks and mortar and deciding that you want a whole different life, a life of adventure, of freedom, of movement. Maybe you're becoming more of a minimalist. Okay, so lots of change here for you. Lots of change, and some of it could be painful, but I think the freedom that you'll find afterwards, phenomenal. Show me what I need to see. And show me now. Some of you guys are simply leaving jobs to start your own creation based on your own creativity. And that is what's going to give you joy. Joyfulness. What the hell? Okay. Joyfulness. And this goes back to, pardon me, like the Three of Cups. My voice is starting to sound like when my son was going to puberty and cracking. He'd be like, crack. My voice is cracking. Okay. So joyfulness. This is going to bring about like your youth, your zest for life, your excitement. But first, I feel like you need to leave a lot of things behind or deliberately cut things out that weigh you. And this is going to be people. This is going to be jobs. This is going to be even possessions that no longer resonate with you vibrationally. And you're headed down a major new path. I looked at the bottom of the deck. This is the coolest reading I've had in a long time. I was very confused in the beginning. Like if you lasted more than like 6 minutes on this read, kudos to you and thanks for hanging in there, because I was about ready to want to quit on myself. I'm like, I don't really get this. This is like weird. But here we go. You're looking and you're headed for fortune. And I feel like with the blindfold, she doesn't even see this. But I also feel like your fortune, even though you may feel like you're abandoning it, you're going to make a lot more. You're going to feel a lot more flush, a lot more abundant, even to the point where you're going to just like, I don't want to say give it away, but yeah, you're going to be gifting other people and blessing other people with that. So, and then in some ways, I feel like you're going to be an example or pedestal. And for one or two people, I do feel like this is about whistleblowing your job. And, you know, I can't weigh on that. I shouldn't weigh in on that, I should say. But, like, I do what I want. And I feel like this could be a windfall for maybe one or two of you. It could be like a settlement against an employer who had really bad ethics, or, you know, that you became a whistleblower and... the universe winds up supporting you, saying, hey, support this man, support this woman at all costs, because we need to know the truth. And I think we'll be seeing a lot of that within the next 6 to 9 months, by the way, in general, with the media, with the news, mainstream media. Show me what I need to see. Jumper. Oh, wow. What is... Okay, this says faux. Enigma. Okay. Yeah, so the faux thing, I feel like it's very complicated. It's not necessarily even like one place. I feel like it's more of an entity or a really big thing that's been bothering you or forcing you to, in some way, somehow, like make compromises that you never thought you would otherwise make. Yeah, and then with the priest, I feel like this is just a lot of us talk about like coming to Jesus moment. But with this priest here, I feel like this is going within and really deciding, okay, is this something I can live with? Is this like okay for my soul? And if it's not, I feel like you're renouncing things like that. So whatever the case may be, you're getting back to the roots of who you are. And I feel like also, I heard someone say foolishness. Like you could be feeling like it's foolish to think that you're going to renounce everything, all the hard work that you've done and everything else, in order to pursue happiness or whatnot. But I feel like you're in between two worlds right now, where you can choose to continue heading in a direction that everybody else is heading, or you become, yeah, like this child right here, just like pure innocence and just want everything to be great for everybody else, and figuring that you're going to make a new path for yourself, a new path for the world. And you're not going to bother with how things are done in the status quo, because you are going to pursue your joy and happiness. And that is that. Yeah. Ooh, 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 ooh. Look at this. Of course, I'm excited about this. Y'all may not be, depending on what you do for a living, but service. So this is about, look at entering the chariot to be of service, even being reverent about it. It's like, I'm of service to people, like people, take their cues from me. Like, let's say you have a family, so you have like 3 kids and, or however many kids, and you're like, well, in my small world, I do make a difference. And my small decisions do make a really big, huge difference morally, ethically, psychologically, emotionally for my family. So I have to do what is best. And I want to do acts of service. I want to be a servant to spirit and for community, for my family, friends, all of that. And that's going to look differently for everybody. For some of you guys, that's like doing yoga and teaching people how to tap in. Others is like teaching people how to meditate and not medicate. And for others of you, it's just completely going off the grid and maybe teaching people and showing people and supporting people that are currently off the grid and becoming a part of that community. So whatever your thing is, enjoy your journey, add some play into it. And remember, it kind of just feels like it's all an illusion when all is said and done. So let me get a couple of angel cards. Show me what I need to see. Show me what I need to see and show me now. With a 5, a lot of changes and fluctuations. Okay. Xana, is it Xana? So you are protected from all types of harm. The worst is now behind you. I ask you to relax and feel safe. And I think, making monumental changes like that, and you're like, what the hell? I'm going to change my whole life and relax? Like, woo, good luck with that. But there is a measure of like, when it's over, it's over. And when you make decisions, such a huge relief and having like a big, big weight off of your shoulders as well. And not saying that it's easy, but you do get periods of respite and time to regroup and period of, play and relaxing. So it is time for you to feel safe and relax. The next card is Grace and Internet. To help heal the situation, see the other person's point of view with compassion. And I can't help but go back and think about the big corporations. If you're working with corporations that are unethical or that really violate your conscience, because that's kind of how I feel. And it could be like someone saying, hey, this is, the way of the world. This is how we have to do. And you're starting to realize that, hey, those clothing are really toxic, or there's a lot of chemicals in those cereals, or whatever the case may be. And you're starting to really in your heart renounce it, and knowing that you can't really continue working in that facade anymore, because for you, you've outgrown it. And so that's the situation that needs to heal. But in order to do that, seeing other people's points of view is going to really help you to really disengage from, from corporations like that, to be able to have the strength to stand on your own and to move away from that. So that's going to be for somebody. I realize that's going to be really heavy, and it's easy from this side of the table to be like, yeah, you could just renounce your job, get in your car, live in the wilderness. And, I wasn't born yesterday. I know things are not that easy, but I also know that working yourself to death for a cause that's killing your soul is going to eventually, sooner than later, wind up killing you. I mean, it's already sucked out all the life and all the joy out. So there has to be like even steps or small measures taken with the end game and goal of like removing yourself or reinventing yourself, even for a lot of you, so that you could move away. But I see 3 major moves for you. So these could be physical moves. This could be employment moves or self-employment moves, 3 different businesses, or a combination thereof. But you're making really big moves, and now is not the time to stay stagnant or stick in your head, because that's not going to help you in the least. So I hope that that's been helpful to somebody. And if it is, please give me a thumbs up, like, share, comment, subscribe. Any ideas for the next reading would be great. If not, I'm going to do what I want anyways. So hope that you guys are having a good day, good night, good evening, whatever the case is. and much luck to you. Remember to go inwards to get the answers that you need to be able to affect your outward life in a really positive manner. Thank you so much for your time, your energy. Till next time, namaste.